In the modern enterprise, an AI agent can execute a complex business decision in a fraction of a second. Take a look at this transaction record. At exactly 14:22:08 UTC, an AI called Claims Processing Agent V3 autonomously approved a payout of $142,500 to customer ENT00482. The money has already moved. Now, imagine a federal regulator or your internal risk officer walks into the room. They point to that six-figure payout and demand to know exactly why the machine made that decision. You need specific answers. What business rules did the AI apply? Did it check for fraud? Most importantly, did this automated transaction violate HIPAA, SOC 2, or GDPR frameworks? If your only answer is that the AI black box decided it, your organization is entirely exposed. You hold all the legal, financial, and regulatory liability for a decision you can't explain. The traditional IT response to an audit request is to pull the software logs and see what the machine did. But as this comparison shows, standard code logs are practically useless for AI governance. The left side tells you what action the machine took. The right side is blank, because logs cannot record the complex reasoning of why it happened. This is where the Trust Audit platform steps in. It operates as the dedicated governance and auditing layer of AgentTrust OS. It enforces a strict operational standard. No automated decision executes unless it is fully explained, governed, and mathematically auditable. To see how this works, we have to rewind to the exact millisecond before that $142,500 claim was approved. We capture the event using the decision lineage framework, long before the money actually moves. The execution history engine reconstructs logic step by step, retrieving policy POL 8821, validating coverage, calculating the $142,500 settlement, verifying clean fraud signals, and applying the auto-approval rule. The explainability engine then generates a plain English rationale backed by a 94.2% confidence score and low risk rating. The CIO no longer has to guess how an autonomous agent arrived at an output. They have a complete, transparent reconstruction of the machine's chain of thought. Understanding a decision internally is helpful. Proving that decision to an external regulator is mandatory. This digital vault represents the evidence trail engine, sealing the complete execution history into an immutable, tamper-proof audit record. Instantly, the compliance reporting engine cross-references that sealed action, automatically validating the decision against HIPAA, GDPR, SOC 2, SOX, and PCI frameworks without human intervention. The platform then generates a regulator-ready evidence package, complete with an unbroken chain of custody from the initial input to the final payout. For the CISO and risk officer, compliance is no longer a frantic manual fire drill performed at the end of a quarter. It is an automated, continuous certainty built into every transaction. Of course, AI agents will eventually make mistakes. They hallucinate, they pull bad data, they trigger failures. When that happens, standard IT troubleshooting involves engineers digging through code, guessing where the failure originated. The platform handles errors differently, using the root cause analysis engine. This diagram illustrates a failure trace. The engine immediately traces a bad outcome back through the decision chain, isolating the exact broken tool call or specific reasoning misstep, like a validation data error at step 3. With that level of visibility, engineering teams can implement a permanent fix for the underlying cause of the failure, rather than endlessly treating the symptoms. That is the anatomy of a single $142,500 transaction. But an enterprise runs thousands of these autonomous AI operations every minute. To manage this scale, the executive dashboard engine aggregates that massive volume of governed AI decisions into a centralized, real-time interface. The engine continuously generates executive briefs. Leadership gets board-level reporting on operational trends and the company's real-time risk posture. The Trust Audit platform takes the inherent unpredictability of autonomous AI and structures it into a mathematically verifiable business process. As organizations deploy agents to handle business-critical operations, the rule is absolute. No AI action remains untraced, and no decision remains a black box. This visual represents the 4 guaranteed pillars of every AI action under this system. They are explained, evidenced, compliant, and governed. That is the function of the Trust Audit platform. It provides the essential governance layer of AgentTrust OS that makes enterprise-scale AI possible. Enterprise leaders no longer have to rely on blind trust. They possess the immutable evidence.